What's up, everybody? We're back today talking about a new product line that we are very excited about, and that is our V35 Project tunings on the Canon Flex zooms. If you don't even know about the Flex zooms, to start with, these are the fastest full-frame zooms on the market, and they are a T2.4 all the way through. It's two lenses, a 20-50 and a 45-135 at a T2.4, and I don't know why these lenses never became popular. I personally love them as a shooter. I think they have great flexibility and a really great look, good skin tones, really like great amount of sharpness and flexibility. And, you know, they just were never as popular. So like what we like to do here is take lens sets that might be sitting around and like, you know, revamp them, give them an interesting look. So I thought if we're gonna do zooms, the Flex zooms were the first set that we really wanted to start with because they offer so much. So Flex zooms, built-in back focus adjustment. They have electronics for metadata, which is great. Not only that, they are very fast at a T2.4, and they might look like large lenses, but if you look at other lenses on the market that are full-frame zooms, these are actually a little bit smaller than some of those as well, like the Premistas, the Cooks, Lights, etc. So smaller, faster, great skin tones, and we wanted to take that a little bit further and make them have a little bit more interesting look. So we want to talk right now about what we did, why we did it, show some footage, and yeah, let you know where you can order these. first off, T24. We're calling these lenses the VFL 1 and the VFL 2. The VFL stands for variable focal length. If you may remember, the Zeiss had the variable prime set, and I really like to think of these lenses as a variable prime. At a T24, they are as fast as a lot of other primes that are coming onto the market that have a semi-vintage look, like the Dulens, the Kip-Ons, the Cooke SP3s, etc. So the T24 on full frame, you still get plenty of fall off at a T24, and just, hard to say, two lenses, you get roughly, 115 focal lengths. That is really versatile for what you get, not to mention the metadata and the back focus adjustment being built in. Really slick. So when we're looking at these lenses, there's an old set of lenses called the FL Canon primes. We took a lot of our inspiration from that set, but if you look at a lot of the old Canon lenses, FDs, FLs, rangefinders, there's a lot of similarities between the two. So we really felt like these zooms, if you are running, say, our legacy set or the rangefinder set that we do, you could use these interchangeably with those if you wanted to zoom to accompany your primes, or if you're just somebody that wants one set, this will give you a lot of that look, that we built in, which is some exaggerated edge fall off, a little bit of soft glow, wide open, a little less sharpness. We've kind of given the background texture and the bokeh just a little bit more of a sharpening to it, as well as exaggerated the flares and added a little bit more veiling glare. So, when we're looking at the flares, not crazy vintage in terms of what we were able to do, but we are going to be adding an option to polish the front elements, which will bring some of that back in. But part of our thing now is most of what we do is non-destructive, so you can always revert these back to stock later. That is something we'll be offering for this set as an add-on, but it does make your set now something you can't go back to without replacing the front element. So the vintage look from the old Canon lenses built into two zooms that are relatively fast and small for the size, for scale. We've got, say, a Tokina Vista Prime, large enough prime, but this lens isn't substantially larger. And as cameras are getting smaller, I'm okay with a bigger lens if that means, I don't have to change lenses a bunch during the day. If you're running Steadicam, this 20 to 50 is a great focal length on full frame for a run around, kind of get all your angles that you need in motion. And the 45 to 135 really is pretty special, as you'll see from the footage. Really great combo between the two that gives you a huge range on set with a lot of vintage characteristics. And again, the VFL 1 and the VFL 2. Couldn't be more stoked. Very excited about these and hope you like the footage. If you were interested in converting your set, or if you want to buy these new and have them converted, you can visit www.v35project.com, drop us a line, get you a quote. The price on the zooms is roughly $4,000 a lens for the modification, both internally and externally. If you know these lenses, we're gonna put up a little graphic right now that shows you what they look like stock. We go out, modify the shell, so these just have a little bit more pizzazz on set and make you feel a little bit more special when you're around them on set. Everyone loves polishing a good bit of stainless every once in a while. So that is the Canon Flex zooms converted to our VFL 1 and VFL 2 V35 Project tunings. Hope you can get your hands on these soon. I really like them, and we hope you do too.